Input Foundation clearance codes. Access approved.
SCP-4030 is a safe object class SCP that can easily generate a very deadly instance of SCP-4030-1. So, though it is object class safe, mishandling the anomaly is dangerous. And it's pretty easy to underestimate it because 4030 appears innocent enough, being a simple children's bedsheet with bats and jack-o'-lantern art cascading across it, though the patterns are heavily faded, giving the bedsheet an off-white appearance unless being looked at up close. And indeed, looking at it up close is the last thing you want to do to avoid this anomaly's influence, because those who look at the bedsheet get an irresistible urge to throw the sheet over their head, with this urge still remaining unexplained and not understood in its function and how it influences the onlooker till this day. Depending on age, the shorter or longer amount of time it will take for this bedsheet to manifest its anomalous properties. Full-grown adults take up to an hour, but the younger the onlooker, then the faster the subject will be influenced by 4030. Kids will very quickly give in to the urge to throw the bedsheet over their heads. There really is little that can be explained concerning this anomaly, and its lethality cannot be underestimated. However, this SCP, if properly utilized, can also be beneficial. When someone drapes SCP-4030 around them, their body is separated from all inner components and organs as they translate through space-time. It literally removes someone's consciousness from their body, as well as separating all other aspects, though the opposite of what you would think would happen, happens. This does not outright kill the subject. D-class personnel and others have consistently survived the separation process and returned whole as a living, breathing person once more. The parts of the body stay in the same position of space-time with the 2mm separation. The separated aspects move along with the wearer of the bedsheet, but do not translate through space themselves, which when visually seen can be pretty trippy. The aspects of the subject's body separate in this order: skin and clothing, digestive systems, muscular and respiratory systems, circulatory systems, skeleton, nervous, ocular, and auditory systems. Though the movement of the subject under the SCP bedsheet is mirrored by all these separated body parts, it in no way makes them intangible. In fact, it allows an amazing degree of non-invasive surgery or medical treatment to be performed that would otherwise be more hazardous or difficult of a procedure to conduct. Not only this, but the subject remains conscious and does not feel pain in the slightest. Subjects across the board say all they can really feel is fuzzy and warm when these surgeries are taking place. The medical benefits of this SCP are undeniable, and the best part is that those affected by SCP-4030 can go back to being a complete and whole ordinary human by simply walking backward, their body completely coming together again, just like how it was before. Now, walking forward is possible too, though that may be a really bad idea, because it often leads to the manifestation instance of SCP-4030-1. And if this happens, things get really dangerous real fast. Because if any person under the effects of the SCP look back at their separated body parts, specifically the skeletal structure, then their skeleton will become sentient. And once this happens, the subject will perish, leaving only SCP-4030-1. The subject's skeleton rips itself from the rest of the fractured body parts, basically out of the fractal spatial point. It's hard to explain, but this always kills the person under the bedsheet with no way to repair the damage. The skeletal SCP-4030-1 is incredibly violent. It is stronger and more dexterous than ordinary humans and able to take a lot of damage. The skeletal structure is held together through anomalous means that don't seem to make sense, but the entity moves unhindered anyway. The skeleton only ceases to be anomalous if 50% of its skeletal structure has been fractured or damaged, in which case it falls to the ground in a pile of bones. The danger of an SCP-4030-1 instance is not ever to be underestimated, as many D-Class, operating staff, and Foundation personnel have lost their lives in such incidents. In fact, during one case, 5 skeletal anomalies attacked the facility where SCP-430 was being stored. Somehow they knew where the SCP was being contained, and despite elite training and state-of-the-art weaponry, the security of the site sustained much injury. The analyzation of the bones revealed that they once belonged to victims between the ages of 7 and 16 years old. But even more perplexing was where the anomalies came from if the bedsheet was already in containment, which remains unexplained, though speculation suggests they may have come from an alternate universe. This SCP is to be contained within an opaque plastic bag kept in a safe class containment vault under Foundation video surveillance. Direct skin contact is very much a no-no, unless conducting approved testing or invasive surgery. The SCP is also not to be looked at. Well, it's not to be looked at without proper approval from Foundation personnel. However, under no circumstance is SCP-430 to be handled by unqualified personnel. If you find yourself in an SCP-430-1 instance, to combat the anomaly, attack utilizing blunt trauma. This will be the most efficient way to take them down, though only under duress because you're more likely already dead in that circumstance. If you can, just hide and alert security personnel immediately to come and gun down the anomaly. If you have a firearm, aim at the legs as best as you can while trying to get the hell out of there. Attacking the legs too with blunt force is desirable to engaging the skeleton head-to-head. So, to avoid all this, just make sure that nobody under the influence of SCP-430 ever looks behind them. And whatever you do, make sure you don't die.